All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Wanted to give you guys a quick update. We're out here in the shop. We're actually running around a little bit today. We have a few things that we're doing. And I just kind of wanted to, like I said from the beginning, I wanted to keep you guys informed as to what's going on with this FJ window project, the Buddy window system. What we're doing is, this is the window. So the system's back here. It's back here at our shop, and Adrian has been going to town doing all sorts of modifications to it. And what's exciting, I've got some great news, and the great news is Adrian was able to figure out how to retain half of the door panel, the original door panel, which is going to save a lot of money because it's going to save on the mold process, not to mention the actual part that comes out of the mold. We're not going to have one entire door panel system that's going to bolt directly to the panel. For those who want to do it themselves, do it in-house, we're going to be able to provide them with where they need to make the cut on the door panel. And what we are going to have to manufacture is an upper piece. And this is the upper piece that actually covers the perimeter of the actual window portion of the door. And of course, this part right here, which has a little movable device, which is the seat belt retraction device. This will all stay in place from stock. We're going to copy that when we do our molds, but we're going to build a mold that pretty much covers all of this up. What's so great about this is Adrian's been able to keep the lower section of the door completely in place, which is I just freaking love this. This is awesome. We're going to have to do a little bit of a reinforcement on the inside of this door panel so that when we yank it, the door panel doesn't actually come off like you see on some of these old classics. We're going to sort that out. But the framing has been completely re-engineered to be a kit. And so let me flip this around for you guys. Okay, so this is pretty much what you see here. You've got this framing, right? This framing has been built with our jigs. As you can see, we actually have real window glass in here. And this frame sits inside the actual door frame itself. Of course, cuts had to be made to the actual shell, window portion shell of the door. Here's where it gets interesting. All right, let me just real quickly show you how this works. Actually, this is functional, right, Adrian? Could you Can you turn that on? And so we've got this actually functioning. So there's our up position. Okay, and then of course it's a phenomenal seal. This seal is absolutely fantastic. And there's our down position. So, we're going to put a stop in it, so it'll actually retract all the way to the bottom. What we're doing right now is addressing this area, okay? As you know, we have a little fake window, and this fake window, essentially what this does is this represents the area that is going to be concealed. It's just for show. It's going to be real glass. If you go back and look at some of the original videos, you'll see that this is just a tinted piece of glass. And this will fit in this position right here. What we're trying to do, okay, and like I said from the very beginning, what we're trying to do is this build is much different from the first one. We're trying to do this in a way that saves money, obviously reducing the cost of all of the labor, not to mention all of the things that we have to manufacture. We've come up with this idea. So if you take a look at this piece of sheet metal right here, let me just put this door up against here. This is kind of an idea on what we're doing here. Okay, so this is reversed. Mind you, this is for the opposite door, but this is a piece of sheet metal that's pretty much going to replicate the actual door frame itself. And this is the fake little window. This is the retractable portion. What we're doing is we're building a stamp out of sheet metal that's going to basically adhere to this whole entire surface. Come around this way. It's going to adhere to this entire surface, right? It'll have a indentation here. This will all be blacked out. Of course, this will be covered with the fake window. And obviously, this is the frame that we've already manufactured. This is for the other door. This is the opposite. But actually, they're one of the same. You just reverse them, one in this direction and one in that direction, I believe. And so that's what we're working with next, is the sheet metal. The sheet metal is going to essentially adhere to the face of this with, you know, adhesion that is phenomenal to the industry now. It's just super strong. We're trying to reduce all of the welding requirements. Again, you know, manufacturing this, we're not in the manufacturing business. This isn't something that we do, but I want to share this with you because we're learning as we go. So this is a junkyard door, right? This is a junkyard door. Now there's a belt line molding that fits here, and our plan from the very beginning was to build this without having to do any paint work on the bottom half of the door. In fact, no paint work at all. We're going to primer the door. We'll showcase people how to primer the door once these cutouts are made. But if you come over here to this FJ, come here, check this out. If you look at the FJ and how they're built, you've got vinyl wrapping here. So this actually isn't paint. This is actual vinyl wrapping. And so what we're going to do is once we make that plate, that metal plate frame that fits in here, we're going to basically just provide all of the buyers that buy these systems with a vinyl that wraps directly over the frame. So it'll conceal that. And again, if we keep all of the repair work above this belt line, then we're in great shape because all the repair work will be above the belt line and we'll be able to retain the original paint. The idea here is to do this in a way that's going to save money and reduce cost. And, you know, I really want to sell this as a do-it-yourself kit. Yeah, it's not going to be the easiest thing in the world to do, but with instructions and with the equipment we're going to provide you with, I'm really confident that you'll be able to knock it out. Again, now that Adrian's been able to figure out how to retain the bottom section of the door panel, that's a huge savings for the customer. And then we're just going to work on the top portion. We're excited about where it's going, and it's just taking time. We're taking our time with this. We want to do it right the first time and not have to go back and make changes to it. So these are some of the jigs. Adrian designed all these jigs to bend all of our metal in place. So that it'll fit directly into the actual door shell itself. And we believe there's going to be a total of 4 jigs, and those 4 jigs bend all of the metal infrastructure for the framing of the window itself. This is the first door we're doing. As soon as this is completed and we address this skin issue that surrounds the perimeter of the actual window frame itself, we'll do another video showcasing that, and then it's going into production. As we move forward, we're trying out all sorts of different things, and now's a good time for me to just mention, as we're wrapping this video up, you know, please subscribe, and if you like this content, again, this is all FJ content that I'm really pushing in this video, you know, please pass it on to anybody that you think might be interested, and you know, please give us a thumbs up. Really appreciate that, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. We do have a skin that we actually made and cut from the jig, and just kind of give you an idea. So here's the thing. I'm not sure if we're going to even use this because what we've decided to do was try adjusting the plasma cutter on a lower setting so it won't go through all the sheet metal, and we're trying to actually make some of the cuts. We're testing it on all our test doors right now to make sure it doesn't go through the outer panel, the panel that you've heard me talk about multiple times about how important it is for us to not actually, you know, cause any damage that would require any paint work on the outside skin. So I'm going to share this with you anyway because I'm just trying to give you guys an idea on all that's involved in building this for production value. Here's one of the skins that we actually made off of our jig, and this will kind of give you an idea how it's to be applied if we go this route. So as you can see, you know, here's your frame that we talked about earlier, how we had to make cuts to the outer window frame on the shell of the door itself. And then one idea was to manufacture a piece of sheet metal that would come in and replicate this entire skin that could be adhered to the door with extremely strong glue that would prevent the need for doing any more additional welding or anything. Again, this was one of the ideas that we're having a go at, but You know, Adrian did indicate that he's identified the ability to retain all of this original sheet metal that made up this door frame, where we won't have to cut this part of the door out. So right now we're working on that in hopes that we would alleviate the need for this, and we're going to see how it goes. So we're doing cuts right now on another experimental door in hopes that it's going to actually work out. So if that's the case, we're not going to go in this direction. If we're running into too many challenges, then that's our backup plan. As I've said before, very fluid situation, lots of things moving, and we'll see how it goes. Moving forward, our plan is to just stay focused on doing what we can to make this the easiest process possible. The last thing I want to do is complicate something, and I think going through all these steps, I know it's being long and drawn out, and I know in previous videos I've indicated that we're going to have something operational to show you, but every time we get to a point where we think we're making some really great headway, we identify an easier way. And so I guess it's just part of you know, building something. So again, thanks for watching, stay tuned, and more to follow in the coming weeks. Thank you.